Okay, so if you want to make breast on Maya, the easiest way, or I think one of the quickest way, you can extrude it and try to shape it afterwards. It's really tough, to be honest. I found one of the easiest ways is just to get a sphere. I know it doesn't look anything like a sphere. It's more like a tier shape, but that's okay. We'll fix it here in a minute. What we can do is go to the channel box, rotate this sphere so the pole is pointing forward. So probably on the z-axis we need to rotate it 90 degrees, and then we can reduce the count of it. So right now it has a bunch of sides here, so it has 20 sides. We can just type in here 6, and we have something simpler to work with. I'm going to just move it kind of here in position, just scale it down like that, kind of put it where it's supposed to be. Okay, somewhere around there. I'm just trying to keep an eye on both this front view and the perspective view. Something like that. And you just go into face mode, delete half of it. Let me change to pick marquee so I can select the faces on the back and the front. So delete half of it. I know it's not perfectly round. I understand that. We'll shape it here in a second. So looks like we need to scale it a little bit more. So let's say about right there. We'll put it over here. Maybe rotate it a little bit like this, and maybe a little bit out from the top view. So now I can just place it in here, and now that we have it, we can, you want to have a little bit space between them. So we're going to put a cut here with the knife. So Control-Shift-X is the shortcut. I'm just going to space between them. And you would probably be doing this in mirror, or symmetry, so you don't have different spacing on both sides, but I'm just showing you here. So I'm going to delete that face. I need another cut here. I have the sphere has this line going through the middle. So I'm going to hit Control-Shift-X one more time and hold Control and make a cut here on the middle, so I have a line for this line that's going down the middle of the sphere. So now I can just combine the objects, so I can merge them together. So I'm going to go into object mode by right clicking and holding on the object, then holding Shift, selecting both, and saying merge up here, merge or combine objects I should say. So now the objects are combined. If you still want to move this after it's combined, you find you can't move different objects. Once they're combined, if you move one, you move the other. So if you try this is what will happen. So whoops, what you can do is go into face mode and double click on one of the faces, and that will select all the faces that are connected to that one face. So it will not select the rest of the body. So now you can just move this only, not all of it. So once you have it in position here, and you have it combined, now you can kind of start shaping it a bit. If you go to your modeling toolkit and grab target weld, now I can grab these points and well, let me move it up a little bit. So I'm going to select this point, move it up to kind of give it the teardrop shape, and now I'm going to grab this point, go back to target weld, and click and drag from this point to this other one, and kind of start going around and matching it. If I have any point you can't see one of the vertex, like in here the vertex behind, so I can't see it, you can hit 4, and instead of moving this point to that one, the point in here, you can move the one behind. So if you hit 4 and 5 on your keyboard, you can see wireframe or solid. So I'm going to grab this point and drag it to the bottom here, and then hit 5 again to see my solid shaded view, and then merge that point. So this is one of the easiest ways to model this, and have the right geometry in here. Also, if you want to change this shape or size, you can, it's easier to start from that sphere. You can also, let's say I select this point on the middle. Oh, I still have target wheel, so select this point on the middle and hold Control and right click, hold, and say to faces. That will select all the faces connected to that point. So I have this selection here. I can grow it by holding Shift and period. That will grow my selection. Or Shift comma will shrink the selection. So now that I have it selected, you know, I can't scale it all together. Scale will give me one result. There's another way to scale it, which scales the normal, the face normal, and that's just where the face is looking at. So if I hit the move tool and then hold Control and middle mouse drag, you'll see it's also scaling. So I can control the size with that also, and it gives you a different result than the scale. You'll see it when you're scaling stomachs and things like that. I kind of like this method better. So it's, you have the move tool selected, you hold Control, and then hold Control, middle mouse drag. You'll see the faces growing in place. So that way you control the size also. So this is, I think, one of the easiest ways to model this part of the body.